Our Bay Area DOR is one of the oldest DORs in the country. This will be our 46th annual event, and there are various things that have characterized our DRR over the years. Um, for instance, we have our candlelighting ceremony, which is, of course, a very
Ishii
emotional
is the daughter of
and
Isao
evocative
Shibayama, who was
memorial to
abducted
all
from
of
Lima, Peru,
the
and
people in
raised in
our
Carson City,
community who were
Texas. And
wrongly,
then Marina Shibayama
unjustly
was forcibly
interned
removed
during
from
World
Hood
War
River,
II.
Oregon,
We
and
have,
transported out to Uvalde,
survivors and their
in the
descendants light candles for each of the
Inspired by my
10
father's legacy
WRA,
of social justice for
WRA
Japanese
camps, as
migrant
well as
people, I
one
campaigned for justice for
candlelighter
us
for
now,
the
the
Department of
Vietnamese Latin
Justice
Americans,
camps,
the
who were
Japanese, Peruvian, or
mainly
Pacific
used to,
Islander
of course,
identity,
intern
or the
aliens.
practically unknown Japanese Latin
Another
American.
sort of feature of our DOR is the awarding the Clifford I. Ueda Award. And Dr. Clifford I. Ueda was a San Francisco pediatrician, and he was a former president of the JACL, and he was very instrumental in the whole redress movement. Also, he was a person who did not was not afraid of taking very controversial positions. Day of Remembrance has has awarded the Clifford I. Owen Award for the last 20 years to a person in our community who we feel exemplifies the courage and also, the vision of Dr. Clifford in seeking justice. Yeah, well, the thing is, our theme this year is Bay Area Day of Remembrance, caring life for justice, neighbors, not enemies. And it was prompted by, well, in particular, President Trump's declaration during his campaign of threatening to invoke the Alien Enemies Act of 1798 to deport for mass deportation of immigrants. And that kind of struck a chord, I believe, with the committee, since, in fact, the last time the Alien Enemy Acts, or we call it AEA, was invoked was, in fact, against, Japanese Issei during World War II. But in particular, we felt that given our history and given the fact that most of those, in fact, who were charged under the Alien Enemy Act were Japanese Issei, that we had an important role in sort of educating our audience. Of course, we also have a keynote speaker, and this year we're very privileged to have Mike Ishii, who is the executive director of Student for Solidarity. And as I mentioned, our theme is neighbors, not enemies. And of course, Tsudu, of course, has been really at the forefront of immigration issues.
Well, the theme is a very personal one for me. My family was forcibly removed during World War II from Seattle. My mother was just a young girl at that time, and they were taken to the Minidoka concentration camp in Idaho. And also, my grandfather's sister lived in upstate New York. And on Christmas Eve of 1941, her family was massacred by a gunman, a former World War I veteran, who entered their home and shot them point blank because he wanted to deal with the Jap problem, in his words. That had multi generational impacts for my family. As the youngest of the family, I witnessed the impacts, and it always struck me as a child that something wasn't right. And all through my young life, my mom was somebody who grew up very poor, was forcibly removed to the camps. And I think she always had a deep sense of you never leave anyone behind. You always reach back, and we bring everyone with us. I'm so glad to get to have the conversation in our community, but also in the Bay Area, given the history here. In terms of the Day of Remembrance program, what I hope to talk about is um, what is happening in our country right now. The incoming administration is going to enact a massive campaign targeting millions of people. It will destabilize the economy of the country, but on a moral level, they're going to repeat history. They're going to forcibly round up people. They are already surveilling people. They're going to do raids on people's homes and take people out of workplaces. The newest amendment to one of the laws is now saying that they can take children out of schools. Um, they are going to build uh, hundreds and hundreds more detention sites. What we are seeing is once again the repetition of history. And the blueprint that was used to surveil, forcibly remove, and mass incarcerate, and in some cases deport in mass people of our community during World War II is going to be the template for what's coming after January 20th.
Our Bay Area Day of Remembrance will take place on Sunday, February 16th from 1 to 3 p.m. at the AMC Kabuki 8 Theater in Japantown.